All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 127. Today on the show, there's unrest in Ireland following the stabbing of a child by a migrant that shouldn't have been there in the first place. Then, at our border, the military is letting in illegals, and the Biden administration is telling them to make sure they get the illegals' pronouns correct. Then, on top of that, Vice dropped an article entitled 100 Ways White People Can Make Life Less Frustrating for People of Color. We'll go over that. And last but not least, my black wheelchair Santa's finally arrived. All this and more is Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 127, ranked the best new podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words. But at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
It's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, featuring Richard Grab.
All right, one for one on the intro as always. Guys, this week's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Fume. Now, as you know, cold turkey might be great on sandwiches, but there's a better way to break your bad habits. And we're not talking crazy mind voodoo from your weird neighbor or casting spells, because that's technically witchcraft. We're talking about Fume, who found a new way to help you break your bad habits. Fume realized that not everything in a bad habit is actually bad. So why make unsustainable, drastic changes that will never last when you can just take the bad out of your habit? Fume is an award-winning flavored air device that does just that. Instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. Instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural. And instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses delicious flavors. Instead of bad, Fume is good. It's a habit you're free to enjoy, and it makes replacing your bad habits easy. Fume tastes great, the product is fun to fidget with, and it's made with very high quality materials, especially the new Solana Fume, which has a walnut finish and onyx coated mouthpiece. Very cool. So start the holidays off right with the good habit by going to tryfume.com/Fleccas. That's tryfum.com/Fleccas and use code Fleccas for 20% off from now until December 1st. And if you want to use that code year round, you'll get 10% off after that. So go to tryfume.com/Fleccas today and pick up a product that will help you break your bad habits. Thank you for sponsoring. Let's get into housekeeping. All right. Thank you to Fume.
Thank you, Fume.
It's always good to break your bad habits.
Yeah, I'm almost there.
We're almost there. Big news. Most important thing, first things first. The Black Santas finally came. The Black Wheelchair Santas. Look at this. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
See, I'm convinced this entire...
Made in China, probably?
Is it?
Well, I'm assuming.
Or probably made in some hellhole.
Yep. Slave labor for the paralyzed Santa. China, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, China.
Thank you, China.
That's for you. You can keep that. I'm giving it away to people I like.
I might put this on my rearview mirror until the holiday seasons are done.
It's very smart.
Yeah.
So I'm convinced that these Black Wheelchair Santas are a full irony play.
Of course.
Because I think 95% of sales, maybe even 99% of sales, are just people doing bits.
Of course.
Like me.
Yeah.
I'm a straight white Christian male. I would never buy this. I bought 10.
There's one single black kid in a wheelchair whose mom pulls it out from behind and goes, look, Santa's just like you. There's one.
Yeah. So I bought 10, and I should have bought 0.
I know.
On paper.
I know.
And I think there's something more to it. I think it kind of lowers everyone's energy into like a victim mindset. You know, oh, it's Christmas. What a great time of year. Well, don't forget some people are in wheelchairs, you piece of shit.
Some people can't fit down a chimney.
Yeah. So, you know, and then you're like, ah, dang, that's true. Some people are in wheelchairs. That's sad. That's not fair. And guess what? Now we're all in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
With that mindset. You know what I'm saying? Christmas is
Absolutely.
ruined. Also, these are only $3.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I would have paid $50 for them.
Yeah, for the irony play.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have bought 10, but...
Yeah. Wouldn't have bought 10, but I would have paid a lot more.
Yeah.
Benny Johnson had a pretty...
Sorry to interrupt. We'll get to the Benny Johnson tweet, but it's funny to me to imagine the Chinese people vibing out how things are going in America based on what they're manufacturing.
What they're slave laboring.
Exactly. And it's like, fidget spinners, like, are these guys retarded? You know? And then it's like Black Wheelchair Santa, like, the money train's drying up soon. Yeah. The cheap goods from China, like, the society is not healthy who wants this.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's go to the Benny Johnson tweet about it.
He said, Target stock has dropped 14% year to date. They lost billions in market cap. This is what happens when you take a brand that should be for families, but you use it as a propaganda arm for radical ideologies that target children. So, of course, Target has hired LGBTQIA strategist Gay Cruella to rebuild the brand, and now they're selling gay nutcrackers and black disabled Santa in a wheelchair. We don't know if he's gay or not, black disabled Santa, by the way.
No, he is gay. 'Cause he got his guts fucked out. That's how he became in the wheelchair.
For $63, you can own a 15-inch wooden gay pride nutcracker. Apparently, Target didn't learn their lesson. Yeah, clearly not.
So Target didn't learn their lesson. It's very boycottable. I'm obviously a boycott Target guy, except for the 10 black wheelchair Santas that I was forced to buy.
That was they held you down. They made you buy it. And Target stock actually bounced back a little bit. I think they had a good earnings. So
yeah. So I you have to you boycott. Like when they did the COVID stuff, and then Gavin Newsom went to the nice restaurants. It's like rules for thee, not for me.
Exactly.
That's how it is. Boycott Target, not us. Yeah. I have a whole box of gay Santas. There was a street interview about gay disabled Santa. Here's what they said.
Target putting out black Santas, but they put them in a wheelchair. What do you think happened to black Santa in the wheelchair?
He probably got beat by some white people.
For giving out too many presents?
Yeah, white people, they get jealous.
They do. Anything else you want to add?
It was probably white folks. When white folks aren't looting or shooting each other, they mercilessly beat people.
Yeah, they stomp them when they're on the ground still. That's how white people operate. Big groups of them. Right? Didn't that just happen in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
That kid?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. And so seeing that video, it's like, not only is she wrong, she's dead backwards.
Exactly.
And that's how you know it's propaganda that radicalized her and rotted her brain.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just, I know how it is. It's, you don't have it wrong. You have it wrong. And your correct stance in your head is dead backwards from reality. That's how you know you've been propagandized.
Sad to see.
Speaking of the holidays, Thanksgiving just passed. I actually ordered a deep frying turkey kit.
Okay.
And it didn't come in time for the holidays. This is my setup back here.
Okay, yes.
So right after the show, I am going to try this thing out. Leave me some tips in the comments.
Put the cardboard down like they said in the instructions.
In case it overflows.
Yep.
Because I filled the oil pretty much to the top.
That's exactly how you do it.
You know how you put stuff in, like buoyancy, you put like an object into water?
Yeah, to measure volume, what it displaces, right?
I'm pretty sure the level doesn't go up.
Yeah, because oil it's springy, so it actually just absorbs
and
the
it
turkey.
fills the cavity of the turkey.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have it filled directly to the brim. It's set up in my kitchen. That's my setup in the background. I'm going to be doing that right after the show.
Okay, cool.
Let me give me some tips in the comments.
All right.
We have a new Ron Desantis clip that just dropped.
Yeah, what is this?
There he is.
Them boots, KC.
Holy shit, is this real?
You got the boots on. You got the high heels.
Yeah.
I knew he was short. He was saying, I'm 5'11" or whatever, and he's really 5'6", whatever.
Uh-huh.
That guy's like 3 feet tall.
He's shorter than the couch.
Yeah.
What happened?
So the original clip that came from, obviously that's AI.
Uh-huh.
The original clip that came from was this.
Uh-huh.
And then someone posted it and said, what happened to masculine men? It's like, this is a gay midget. That's not who we need. That's not making broad strokes about society and the problems. Oh, what's up with men these days? Look at this guy.
Look at the gay midget I found.
That's a little bit of an outlier.
We don't need him.
Yeah. Speaking of AI, that thing was made by AI. There's a new tool going around where you put a fake finger on your hand. It's like a ring.
Uh-huh.
And then if you do a crime or you're on video, people will see it and then they'll think it's an AI image because AI messes up people's fingers so much.
Smart.
So you can do it. I put it on. You have 6 fingers. You do whatever you want.
But I don't get it because if they go and review the footage, they go, oh, that's AI. But it's like, no, $900 worth of merch is missing and that guy just had a finger on. So what's the real angle? I don't. Okay.
I think you take it to court and say, Your Honor, you know how AI messes up stuff.
And then a boomer guy who kind of gets it goes, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. There is 6 fingers.
All right.
All right, let's get into more serious stuff.
Okay, the Guinness World Record paper airplane.
We're going to do that at the end.
All right.
At the end of housekeeping, we're going to break a record.
Okay.
I think. I'm pretty sure we're going to break a record.
Okay, you got some paper? Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
So the WHO, they have a new child pneumonia going around.
Yeah, the World Health Organization calls on China to reinstate masks, social distancing, and staying home when ill amid mystery pneumonia breakout. Yeah, it's child pneumonia or something.
Yeah, so this is actually something to keep an eye on. I think maybe that could be what they bring in next.
Yeah.
Child pneumonia. Maybe it's worse than COVID. Maybe the knee-jerk reaction from the right will be, we're not doing this again. It's not a problem. And then maybe this is the one that actually kills people.
Yeah.
Maybe they can give it to Joe Biden, and then that could be the excuse, Chinese pneumonia, for why Joe Biden needs to step out of the race and Michelle Obama and Gavin Newsom take over.
Okay.
Something to keep an eye on.
I see that.
Yeah. All right, next, let's move.
I'm skipping this one personally. I'm skipping it.
Yeah. Child Chinese pneumonia.
Nah, that doesn't sound like it affects me.
Probably
so.
not.
Yeah.
Probably not going
Probably
to
not.
happen. All right. As we all know, a few weeks ago, the January 6th clips were released. So we've been going through those. We have a couple we want to play just to kind of keep everyone updated. Here's the first one. A lady on the steps is pushed by the cops. It's an old lady, and the cops just threw her down the stairs. Isn't that horrible?
Yeah, pancaked her.
And and they say like, oh, you know, it was an insurrection. It's like the madness from the crowd happened from situations like that when they were spraying people with pepper spray, shooting the pepper balls, launching that old lady. That's kind of what riled things up.
Yeah.
And then we have another clip.
Hey, I got to admit, police-wise, that pepper ball gun, I would overuse that too. If somebody said, hey, you're on pepper ball gun today, I'd be like, all right. Like two-fingering it.
Yeah, that's true.
So to be fair, we play both sides.
Well, yeah, we'll play both sides. He's on pro January 6th. All right, so the next clip that surfaced was this guy in the red circle at the entrance of the doors just pulling people in. Check this out. He is absolutely yanking people in. You see him?
Yeah.
Making sure everyone gets in.
He seems motivated.
Very motivated. And that same guy later on was discovered right here to have an earpiece in.
You were pushing us in.
And you see he's got the earpiece?
Yeah.
You were pushing us in. You were pushing us in. Has the earpiece. So it smells like a Fed operation.
It does smell like
Fed
that.
op, it's called.
Yeah.
All right, we have to move on. We're going to page 3 of Housekeeping. This is the most in-depth section of Housekeeping. It's a very important Housekeeping. I hope you guys are all still with us. Make sure you use this opportunity to tickle the post, help us juice the algo, like the video, leave a comment again, then start commenting what you want to talk about.
Yeah, so that's 3 comments total.
Before it starts.
The Algo Ticklers really hooked it up last week. We had a great release. I think it was mostly Thanksgiving traveling type people.
120,000 something views.
Yeah, crazy.
So thank you guys for watching, and thank you for doing that. Hopefully you shared the show over the holidays. Hopefully everyone had a nice holiday.
It's funny to think that at any given random episode, like there's somebody watching for the first time. You know? And it could just be like our off day or something, and it's like, these guys fucking suck. But hopefully not. So.
Hopefully not. Yep, thank you for doing that. Juice the algo, all the good stuff. And then make sure you're sending us stuff to the P.O. Box.
Yeah.
We love getting gifts.
Yeah.
And it's the holidays. It's Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Omaha Steaks. All right. Ireland. Huge Ireland uprising. The Irish are very mad. A young girl was stabbed by a Muslim migrant who pretty much shouldn't have been in the country in the first place.
Yeah, I think there was just a recent headline that said he should have been deported in 2003. So long-time overstayer, Algerian type, not great.
Yeah. So
Not really a, McGregor or a Duffy or a...
O'Brien.
Yeah, it wasn't any of those.
Exactly. Not really an Irish lad.
Yeah.
So everyone's rightfully mad at the Muslim migrants who shouldn't be in Ireland in the first place. There was a meme I saw that compared the size of Africa to Ireland. Can you read that?
Yeah, Africa is 430 times the size of Ireland. So why do Africans have to live in Ireland?
Isn't that so true?
Rings true to me. I mean...
We need to send them to Ireland?
Yeah, not good.
For what?
For the sweet society that somebody else built.
That
they can then terrorize and undermine and attempt to subjugate.
Exactly. And they preemptively gave everyone white guilt. So when everyone gets brought in, they don't really say anything. And now it's at like a crucial point where it's almost too late.
Yeah.
So it's good to be mad at the stabbers and the migrants who shouldn't be there. But don't forget, the problem is the people, policies, and NGOs that got these people in the country in the first place.
Of course.
So like they get the people in the country, and then now they have it like Irish lad against migrant Muslim lad, and they're going like this. but the people that you should be mad at are actually above looking down going, yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's a broader point with all the problems in the West with these migrants. At this point, nobody's really explicitly voting for migrants or nobody's explicitly voting for refugee status. They just go, okay, the liberals won. Like, that's carte blanche. You know, we can do whatever. And so it's not really exactly being discussed or voted on. The people in charge are just taking the liberty.
Yeah. Doing the right thing.
However they want to frame it, I think it's evil personally. You know, these homelands are for Irish people. So it's just a broader point of never in recent history has there been more of a like, oh, we're going to take this liberty. That's an implied you voted for this. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah. So, like they're doing them a favor.
Yeah.
I saw this meme about natives controlling their own land. Can you read that?
Yeah, natives should have total power and control over their homeland and decide what to do with it. Oh my God, yes, when it's Africa. And then natives should have total power and control over their homeland and decide what to do with it. And when it's Europe, it's, well...
Actually...
Yeah.
So there have been...
I mean, it's standard. Like, we point out double standards all the time, and it's like, no, these are pretty important things to have a clarity on. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
I hate doing just like, oh, look, double standard, you know, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Everyone has a right to protect and have their own, the colonizers versus colonized. It's like, nah, man, everything's in a vacuum. Ireland's getting the short end of the stick in this by far.
100%. So the response to the protests have called for hate speech laws.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing now. Check out this.
We're going to make sure that we make those changes to our laws in the next couple of weeks to allow the Gardaí to use that evidence and go through that evidence and identify the people who are involved in these actions, and we are going to get them. In addition to that, I think it's now very obvious to anyone who might have doubted it that our incitement hatred legislation is just not up to date. It's not up to date for the social media age, and we need that legislation through, and we need it through within a matter of weeks. Because it's not just...
So they need it through, and basically it's like if you possess hate speech on your phone, it's illegal, and that counts for like memes and stuff. Yeah. So instead of addressing the problem, they're addressing how people speak about the problem, and like they're obviously the real problem is there's like too many migrants. People shouldn't be there in the first place.
People who don't assimilate into a culture, taking free stuff, committing crimes.
Yeah.
And then going, we really need to rush through some hate speech laws after that.
Yeah, people are talking about the hate speech stuff. People are hatefully describing what's actually going on. That's the problem.
Yeah, you got shot in the chest and you stubbed your toe, and they're like, let's take care of that toe.
Yeah.
Let's look at that toe right away.
Exactly. Or, why'd you shoot me in the chest? This guy just shot me in the chest. Yeah. And they go, whoa, calm down.
Yeah.
What is your problem?
You have no right to say that.
Yeah. So the motivations of the politicians and the policies are to make the country less white. This other clip basically describes that. Same guy.
One thing I strongly agree with the deputy on is the need to set a target to have a number of people from ethnic minorities in areas of the public service. We have a health service that's very diverse, although less so as you go up towards the senior positions. Not so much in the Gardaí, not so much in the Defence Forces, not so much in the education sector, as the deputy mentioned. Not at all in the civil service, which is very white, including the Department of Equality, for example, and that actually needs to change. So we need to have, I think, a target for people who come from ethnic minority backgrounds, but also dedicated recruitment campaigns to encourage people, because we do need a generation of young people growing up in Ireland who are people of colour to see black and brown school principals, judges, Cian Corla perhaps in the future. Who knows? Visibility and opportunity is really important.
So they need Ireland to be less white.
Yeah.
Why would you need Ireland to be less white? Doesn't that not make sense?
Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. And while
diversity is our strength, and still nobody's told me why.
Yeah.
Nobody once told me a result of diversity being our strength. I think we covered it a few weeks ago of communities that were more diverse had less community engagement. There were some metrics, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like I'm still waiting for that tangible proof, or at least an explanation that rings true.
Yeah,
and I haven't gotten it.
Yeah, exactly. So while this is happening, the Irish government is giving migrants like free housing, free food, free education, all these things. And then Irish natives are struggling.
Yeah.
Economy-wise, with their jobs, with whatever. And a lot of resources are being rediverted to give these
charity.
Yeah, to give these people
charity to a non-native population, right?
Which makes no sense to me. And then also with all this, they're limiting their rights, like we said about the hate speech laws. But there was another lady who gave a little speech about how they basically need to get rid of their rights.
Yeah, for the common good.
When you think about it, all law, all legislation is about the restriction of freedom. That's exactly what we're doing here, is we are restricting freedom, but we're doing it for the common good. You will see throughout our Constitution, yes, you have rights, but they are restricted for the common good. Everything needs to be balanced. And if your views on other people's identities go to make their lives unsafe, insecure, and cause them such deep discomfort that they cannot live in peace, then I believe that it is our job as legislators to restrict those freedoms for the common good.
You stupid bitch.
Yeah, so we're going to import a replacement demographic, and you can't say anything about it for the common good.
Yeah, exactly. For the common good, we're going to bring in these people who aren't assimilating. They're not going to mesh well with our culture, and it's because you are racist if you say anything that goes against it. And next thing you know, your schools look like this school in Ontario, Canada. Here's an Ontario, Canada school.
No, a lot of ice hockey up there.
So that's what happens.
Yeah.
So basically the politicians and the globalists, they ruin your society by bringing in third worlders that don't really belong and aren't compatible.
And you become a multicultural GDP farm.
Yeah.
GDP goes up every year because you keep bringing in human cattle.
Yep.
But,
And then,
you as an individual and a citizen are more alienated from your culture and your homeland than ever before.
Exactly. And then if you complain about it, instead of saying, oh, so some of our civilians are complaining, maybe they bring some good points up, they actually take the opportunity to see who's complaining so they can make like a list of those who would resist the regime.
Of course.
So they bring in these third worlders. It's a problem. People complain, and then they go, ooh, complainer, add you to a list. These are people that are going to go against the regime eventually.
Yep.
So you might be thinking, oh, Fleccas, you're anti-immigrant. You hate immigrant. Here's an immigrant I'd be fine with. Here's a guy we can bring in right now. Look at that.
Look at that. He's doing the dance. He's gliding perfectly. You want him?
Yeah.
You want him in the U.S.?
Yeah.
Wave him in? All right.
Wave him in.
Okay.
That's a skilled guy. I don't even know if that's possible. How that possible? It looks like it could be even fake.
Yeah.
He does a levitation walk.
Yep.
I'm fine with someone like that coming here.
Well, you know what? I will interject because there's probably a lot of people in Africa who could also do that.
All right. Well, that's
so if that's your threshold, I don't know if we're getting the best of the best.
We'll take 100,000 levitating walkers. I'm fine with that.
I don't know.
But you know what I'm realizing too? When it comes to like our country,
Yeah.
they forever called us xenophobic and racist.
Of course.
So we weren't really even complaining that much about immigration and illegal immigration.
Mm-hmm.
But they were setting the stage because they knew eventually we'd realize how many illegals
The
they brought
tipping
here.
point, yeah.
And now we're all like, what are you talking about? We have all these illegals here. And then it's like, oh, look, they're right wing. They're racist and xenophobic, just like we said. But 10 years ago when you called us that, we weren't really complaining about immigration. But you knew that eventually we would because of what you were doing in that time. So now the things make sense, but that's also how they were able to get everyone in illegally. They called us racist and xenophobic, so we kind of like, no, we're not, and we don't really touch immigration. And in that like step back to not be called the name, that's where they snuck everyone in.
Yeah. I'm still waiting on someone to explain why allowing 300,000 people from anywhere between Mexico and Central America to come across our border without mentioning GDP. I'm waiting for someone to tell me why that's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tacos. They can mention tacos and GDP. You can't mention tacos and GDP.
And then some people will say like certain labor jobs, we need it. And like, okay, we don't need 50 million. We need like 1 million for that. You know,
100%.
we don't need 30 whatever millions here now. All right. So obviously the U.S. has an illegal immigration problem and a migration problem. Here is who in the background. This was taken in New York City. Here's who's coming in by the, in masses.
Yep. Just the military-aged male group.
Looking for free stuff. One hotel room, please, in New York City, the Big Apple.
Manhattan.
And some pocket money.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, people in New York can't pay for anything.
Yeah. What do leftists think? They break out into song and it's like a Broadway show. I'm gonna make it in America. It's like, no, they just like steal your shit.
Yeah. Literally.
They hang out on the street. They steal your shit.
They have no means. They have no ways of making money, so they home invade you with their friends, and they form little gangs.
Yeah. Hey, I recommend everyone look at the recent migrant stories from CWB Chicago. They have a lot of Venezuelan crimes now.
Yeah. And then also, I think we've mentioned this in the show, but I've been telling my family this. A lot of times in the past, people would like stake out a certain house. We're like, oh, this is the jewelry guy. He brings home cash on Fridays. We're going to wait, and then when he opens the safe, we're going to run in. These guys just rob you in the day. They don't know what you got. They'll tie you up, and then they'll just look around and go, oh, we got like silverware, we have a TV, you know, whatever. And
$120.
Yeah, they'll do it for that.
Yeah.
They're not even planning. Yeah. So, and here's where I take it to the next level, and I hope you guys agree. I think everyone should.
Okay.
2024 is the most important election in history because if the Democrats win, I think they're going to do overnight amnesty for like 10 million people. Yeah. Say a light number, 5 million, 10 million people. And then when 2028 comes around, they're going to say, vote Democrat or the Republican nominee is going to deport you. Yeah. And then everyone's going to vote Democrat and we're never going to win an election again. The elections come down to tens of thousands of votes sometimes.
In a few states.
In a few critical counties and states, which are probably being loaded up right now with illegals. So that's kind of how I see it happening. And if we lose 24, we may never win another election again.
I agree.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
It does. Well, I mean, I agree with that thought process. And we're stopping like a slow avalanche. And, you know, once it builds a certain amount of momentum, you can't really stop it. And enjoy brown America.
Exactly. That's what's coming. And that's why 2024 is so important. There was a Stephen Miller leaked audio video that came out, and D.L. Hewley posted it as if it was like proof that MAGA's racist. And I heard it, and I was like, let's fucking go.
The only other detail I'll add to this, and I could obviously talk about it for, an hour, but is that President Trump has also said that he would invoke a statute that's been on the books since the John Adams administration, which allows you to deport any alien aged 14 or older without due process if there's a declared state of incursion, a predatory incursion or invasion from that country. So this is an extremely powerful tool that waives due process, and so that would be an additional authority that you'd be able to use to expedite these removals.
That's what I like to hear.
I love that.
No due process. They don't get due process. You're not American.
I love
it illegally.
Exactly. And I love an old law on the books that you can pull out, dust it off. And especially for presidential powers, it's like, all right, let's dust off. There's only been 46 presidents, let's see what Rutherford B. Hayes did. Like what happened in the Abraham Lincoln era, let's pull out whatever the fuck we can. Also, interestingly enough, D.L. Hewley is like this black information guy. And it's like, who do you think they're stuffing these thousands of Guatemalans and Venezuelans? What neighborhood do you think they go in? Have you seen any of the videos coming out of Chicago? And I don't know why he's on the side of anyone who wants to come here.
That's a good point. And it's always like,
the
white folks are complaining. And it's like, the black folks should be complaining more.
And they are. Have you seen any of like the Chicago City Council meetings or like those neighborhoods? Yep. And I think we're going to get to it later in the episode when they're secretly building migrant housing right under your nose and they don't allow cameras in.
Yeah, we're doing that in Urban Decay. So we're almost done with housekeeping. Eric Adams basically was like, he calling it out, saying we can't afford this. We need more money. This is not sustainable. New York has problems. And then
instead of stopping it, though, he was begging for federal money. And then once the federal money wasn't coming, once Joe Biden couldn't sign a $5 billion check to New York for whatever, then he goes,
and he starts calling out Joe Biden, and then he called out Joe Biden, and then we have the N wokeness tweet that kind of explains what happened after that.
Yeah, Mayor Eric Adams finally had the guts to call out Biden for the border crisis almost immediately after the FBI opened a bribery investigation against him. Then they seized his phones and iPads. Now a liberal activist came forward and is accusing him of sexual assault from 3 decades ago. The old 3 decades ago. Oh, he's the mayor now? Okay, hammer it.
Yeah, that's what you get when you go against him.
Yeah.
Everyone's buddies until you're elected and actually facing real issues and you call out one thing. So let's move on. Thomas Jefferson statue in New York was removed after 187 years from City Hall. Thomas Jefferson statue.
There's TJ.
There he goes.
In the dead of night, quietly removing TJ. Had a good run. It's not your country anymore, TJ. It's not ours either.
No histories allowed, no connections or pride in the past, especially in a racist country. And this kind of happened when I was home for Thanksgiving. I was at my house, and like 2 minutes away, there's like this shopping center. And growing up, it was the deli, Sergio's Pizza, all the grocery store, Chinese restaurant. And I went back there. It was all empty.
What happened?
Sal's Deli is the only thing left. Sergio's Pizza is gone. Sergio's Pizza was our Thomas Jefferson statue.
Yeah.
And now I walk around the shopping center, and I'm a stranger in my own house, my own hometown. And then there's these illegals riding bikes around, which wasn't really happening before. So now I look around, and it's like, it's not my town anymore because all my staples are gone. It's nobody's town.
Yeah.
It's an up for grabs in between town.
It's
and
globalist.
Who's going to take it? The guy who's riding the illegal alien on a bike who's probably got 3 kids.
Probably looking for the Macy's. Which way to the Macy's? I need to steal $900 in coats.
Yeah. So people on bikes now, illegals. There was a George Orwell quote that kind of summed up all the things we've been talking about.
You will be hollow. We shall squeeze you empty, and then we shall fill you with ourselves. So.
Yeah. That's what we are. We're hollow now. And then there was
filled with consumerism and distractions while they hollow out America, right?
Yep. And our NSA guys, there was a NSA, the former director of the NSA and CIA.
Yeah, General Michael Hayden.
He posted this.
Said no difference at all between a, AK-47 or M16 wielding Sharia law type and then a...
white Christian woman with a gun and a Bible.
Yep.
So that's who's in charge. People like that, and that's what they think of us. And then here's the final thing we're going to end this section on. Instead of prioritizing keeping people out at the border, this is what our military is doing at the border. It's just a video.
We have military helping migrants cross into the U.S. illegally.
So here they are cutting the barbed wire so people can get in illegally. And not only that, it actually gets worse. If that's not enough for you, seeing our military let people in. I'll go back to that. Instead of seeing people let people in, here's what the Biden administration's having the military do at the border.
A new order from DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas is warning Border Patrol agents not to misgender illegal immigrants. Yes, you heard that right. So as we watch massive crowds of migrants cross our southern border under President Biden's watch, it appears the White House is prioritizing pronouns. New DHS orders obtained by the Heritage
that's
Foundation.
The priority. That's it.
So we're opening the southern border so people can come across illegally, and then they're being told, make sure you get their pronouns right.
You don't want to be mean.
Fully disrespecting everything. Yeah. All right, last page of housekeeping. We're going to go a little more lighthearted. There was a new Guinness Book of World Records for fastest paper airplane, and I'm going to try and beat it right now in front of everyone, 1 for 1.
All right. You want me to play it and then do it at the
same
time?
Well, he can go first.
Okay. Sloppy. I guess it's okay.
6 seconds. That's the record for fastest paper airplane ever.
Okay.
Let's get a timer going. Give me a ready, set, go.
Ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 seconds
I beat it by 50%.
Yep.
That's how we do it. I beat it by 50%. It wasn't even hard.
Guinness, we've been getting on you. Start doing some real shit. Standards.
Guinness Book of World Record. That's the record for fastest paper airplane.
Guinness,
I beat it on the Fat Podcast.
Guinness Book Fat Podcast. Guinness Book of World Records is just like whoever has a camera and one very specific thing and like a timer right now will give it to you.
Yeah.
It's not like a world record. It's not like you beat something. It's just, all right, come up with a set of conditions where you can do something faster than anyone has in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So,
all right, last thing, just something I want to talk about. On my flight home for Thanksgiving, there was a guy in front of me, and he was listening to Christmas music on his headphones.
Okay.
It's kind of, you setting the mood? You're getting into the holiday spirit? Listening to Jingle Bells on your phone?
Yeah, like when you have like 3 hours to kill.
Yeah. And it's like one thing if you hear like Jingle Bells at the mall, But it's like you're playing Jingle Bells on your own phone.
You're driving your car to go pick up the tree with your wife. Christmas music goes on, you know?
And it's on the radio and you don't even choose it. They just play it for you.
Yeah, you're driving, it's snowing, you turn on the Christmas channel on Sirius.
All right, you play it on Spotify.
Headphones in.
And you're on the plane going like Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell. That's crazy to me.
Oh, that's crazy to me too. You're right. You're right. When you're right, you're right.
Hey. So everyone knows I love Anuka Titawan for his Christmas playlist. I found another pet who has a song we need to add to our Christmas playlist. Let this rip.
At Christmas, to carry my heart and the way my tray to carry away. It's me, it's all in my tweet. I could be in some bad nation.
That's nice. Yeah, that's good. Raspy. That's a raspy voice.
And then last thing before we're done with housekeeping, same fit every day. People will remember you better if you always wear the same outfit.
I agree.
Can you acknowledge to the crowd that I've been doing that for like 4 years, 5 years at this point?
Yeah, you've cycled through a few outfits. Now you've settled on this, whatever we're calling this.
But it's pretty much the same outfit every day.
I kind of have a uniform as well.
I like it. That's just how you live, and it's like a branding.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that guy. Oh, it's definitely him. He's got the sleeveless hoodie.
Yeah.
That's how I think it works.
Smart.
All right, that's the end of housekeeping. Before we get into Cringe of the Week, we have a special message from our friends over at iTarget. As show watchers know, violence and crime is on the rise. We see it every week in Urban Decay. And a lot of people try to combat that by going out and buying a gun, but realistically, they leave it in the safe and don't really train too much. So if there's an emergency, they won't be prepared and they risk hurting themselves or others. There's no way around it. You need to train with your firearm often. But unfortunately, training can be very time-consuming. It's hard to get to a range if there's even one nearby. And we all know the cost of ammo is through the roof. That's why the iTarget Pro system is perfect for you. You can train with your firearm in the comfort of your own home. All you need to do is download the iTarget Pro app, load the caliber-specific bullet into your firearm, and start training today. You can practice alone, you can compete with your friends, and you could also use the iTarget Pro system to train your family members so they are prepared in case of a worst-case scenario. This is the smartest and safest way to train, and that's why professional shooters swear by the iTarget Pro system. iTargetPro.com is the website. I is in the letter I. TargetPro.com. Code Fleccas, 10% off site-wide. Let go of my purse. All right, Cringe of the Week. First of all, thank you to iTarget.
Yeah, thank you, iTarget.
It's very good to practice the guns.
While saving your bullets.
Yeah.
Saving your munition.
You know, it's expensive.
Yeah.
And ammo's going to be gold soon.
Yeah.
And then, you know, what are you going to do? Go to the range and shoot hollow points?
What are you getting at?
I only have self-defense rounds.
Oh.
So I don't even shoot my guns. I'm just ready to use them.
Okay. Maybe you should, though. Maybe you should. That's why you have iTarget.
Then you have to clean them.
You're right. You're right.
But not with iTarget. iTarget doesn't give the same residue and stuff. All right. Trans Day of Remembrance just passed.
Yeah, we missed this. It would have been on our Friday episode, but the White House was honoring Trans Day of Remembrance for the 26 trans Americans killed in 2023. 26 homicides out of 1.6 million trans people is a rate of 1.625 per 100K. So 1.625 per 100. Overall U.S. homicide rate, 6.3 per 100. Trans people are 3.87 times less likely to be killed than the average U.S. citizen. One of the 26 is Devani Jeray Johnson, who tried to murder a security guard with a fire extinguisher and a screwdriver.
We remember you, Giovanni.
We will remember you and a fire extinguisher.
Oh, man.
And so, yeah, that's the type of people. And then a lot of them who are killed is, I mean, we covered it on Urban Decay that one time. The guy who found out it was a trans person who was hooking up with him. And then he goes, what the fuck? Killed him, that Latino kid.
Yep.
And I think we were doing some banter on Twitter, me and the boys. More people are killed by tractors every year. So, you know, the farmers, they go, oh, I'll fix this. And, oh, it's hopped out of neutral.
Yeah. Ground up.
Yeah. So, you know, Trans people love playing victim, even though they're below the homicide rate of the broader world. And that makes sense, right? Because who are trans people? Highly intelligent, borderline Asperger white people, for the most part. Some black. And, you know, they don't run in the circles that kill, that impulsively murder.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready to go to Cringe? Charlotte Clymer in the news. We love Charlotte Clymer. She's a pet of ours.
This is old, though, right?
I don't know. I just saw it go viral. So maybe it is old.
I think it's a little old, but it's a goodie.
We haven't covered it on the show yet.
Charlotte Clymer is a transgender woman and says she and a friend walked into the ladies' room around midnight at Cuba Libre restaurant.
And an attendant in front of the restroom asked to see my ID. They didn't ask anybody else. And when I asked why, they said it's because I have to have female on my ID in order to access the restroom. That's wrong, but, you know, first of all, and second of all, I'm not going to show my ID to use the restroom.
She says that's when the male attendant walked in and started looking for her. After washing her hands, Clymer says the attendant and manager said it was D.C. law that a person must only use the restroom that matches with the gender on their identification card. She walked outside to look up the law on her cell phone to show the manager.
Went back inside, went straight to him, and asked him to read it. He did, and he said that's incorrect. And I still don't, think that you're allowed to use the restroom. I gave him one more chance. I said that I worked for the Human Rights Campaign. I need you to make a course correction right now because this is about to get very bad. And you need to understand the way that laws work in D.C. in regards to the LGBTQ community.
I need to get into that bathroom. I need that bathroom so bad. It's the number one thing I'm thinking about right now.
Yeah. She should sue and then ruin that small business.
Yeah, let's blow up a small business.
She's got some wires crossed.
Yeah, she. And
there she is.
There she is next to this other dainty woman. Just two ladies.
Two ladies with their elbows out looking completely normal.
Oh my God, look at the size of that fucking skull.
Wow.
That's like, that's kind of caveman type shit.
Yeah. And then, as a lot of people know, maybe not for lovely Charlotte, but a lot of trans people, it's a kink.
Of course.
This is all to get off. It's all to nut.
Yeah. I want to nut extremely hard.
Yeah.
Harder than I already am as a man.
I need to do it in public.
So here's this Reddit post that says, on the male to female subreddit. So, just guys being guys. It says, whenever I begin acting like a girl, I become hard, and this is raising fear inside of me of me not actually being trans, but this being only a kink. Whenever I begin acting as I want, be it in person, be it with a voice mod in Discord, my ADHD disappears. I become aware of every body part, and more often than not, I get hard for a while. I don't know what this is all about, and I know I need help understanding this phenomenon.
Why would you even read that?
Just let me.
That's disgusting.
That's just like Artemis, bricked up at the sorority house.
Yeah.
You're going to get bricked up because it's a fetish, not an identity. You're not a woman. You're just a bricked up, horny man.
Exactly.
I hate to break it to you. I understand more than you do.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened.
We're more informed on it than you are.
How did that happen?
But these people are being taken seriously, and Kansas City Airport actually just installed gender-neutral bathrooms. Can you read that?
Kansas City's brand new taxpayer-funded airport makes men and women take huge dumps next to each other to appease trans lunatics.
Yeah. So some people have their wires crossed, and for that reason, everyone has to go to the bathroom in the same bathroom now at the airport because some trans people. And have you ever seen a trans person at the airport?
No.
I've only seen twinks and a lesbian.
Yeah.
I'm keeping track.
Yeah.
I've never seen a trans at the airport.
So who loses? Again, dainty women who now have to hear the blowout sounds of a Fleccas type in the bathroom in the stall next to them.
Let's not paint any pictures.
Well, you're painting the toilets.
But progressives pretend like, oh, MAGA's mad about these bathrooms. MAGA cares about bathrooms. It's like, do you think women don't want privacy in the bathroom?
Yeah.
Oh, these MAGA types are complaining. They care about bathrooms so much. No, like women of both sides of the political aisle are probably not comfortable with men in the bathroom with them. And I'm not saying even trans women. I'm saying like men, like in that situation, you have men and women in the same bathroom because of trans people.
Yeah.
Women don't want that.
Yeah.
And they don't want trans people either, probably, most likely.
Educated guess there.
Yeah, I'm just guessing. Cis men complains from Hinge. This person is complaining on Hinge.
All cis men on Hinge have the same fucking personality. It's, look how muscular I am. Here's another shoes picture. Look at my boat. Look at my car. Look at my motorcycle. Here's me drinking. Like, what the fuck? And the fucking prompts are even worse. It's always like all of that. And then like, well, I'm such a good cuddler and I just want to love and respect you.
Yeah, no, you gotta figure it out, ma'am. Men are the worst with their accomplishments and their muscles and their nice cars.
Being proud of those accomplishments. Yeah. Just be a trans freak like me.
Yeah. You're literally the meme. You know that meme of the cartoon trans person?
Of course, yeah.
That's like where they got it from, I think.
I know. That's a 1-for-1 original clip. And yeah, I'm on Hinge, I'm looking at men, so you desperately want a man, and you're kind of like doing the 4th grade, like, I'm rejecting them first before they can reject me, because this guy's probably got 0 matches.
Yeah.
Not a single match. And then the one match is from a little girl who became a boy who's like, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm on testosterone. I'm Elliot Page.
Yeah.
Somebody actually told me Elliot Page is on the dating apps Raya. It's like for celebrities or it's not celebrities, but it's like a higher end one where you have to like kind of tell them something.
Yeah.
So Elliot's out there scouring.
Good luck.
Good
Maybe
luck,
you'll
Elliot.
Find something. So there was a fail at a show. This is like a trans fail.
Yeah. And so you know how we're always harping on how drag, Republicans hate drag. It's stupid. They use it to talk to kids. And then our main gripe is drag is not even entertaining.
Yeah.
Oh, a fat guy lip syncing Aretha Franklin, groundbreaking. Right?
It's not even good content.
It's not good content.
It's just lip syncing.
And so here is a drag trans type show who tried to elevate their content.
A little higher production. We'll see how it went. Let's see how it goes. We can't play the music, unfortunately, but let's see how it goes. Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. That's better than what I've seen.
This show is great.
It's better than what they do with the kids.
Whoa, look at that. They're spinning around. This must have been expensive.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Tib fib shattered.
Oh, no. And it's like, imagine the conversation before you're talking to like the production people and you're like, can this wire hold 2 girls? And they're like, yeah.
Yeah, 2 girls. Average weight of a girl is what, 130? Yeah. So yeah, it could hold 2 girls.
It could hold 250. All right, because it's going to be 2 girls on there. Like, yeah, should be fine.
All the PC, the guy has to say yes, and he can't tell you, like, no, you're not girls, right?
It's like the total weight's like 350.
Yeah. Which leads to catastrophic failure in society.
Yeah.
And that's the broader point.
All right, let's go to our next section of Cringe, the bad teacher section.
Okay.
We're going to go kind of fast through this, but Libs of TikTok found these teachers that have like these horrible personal lives.
And you know what? It's not even like, all right, that's the history teacher. Okay, I guess they could probably separate that. It's like kindergarten teachers. So meet Lindsay Susie, kindergarten teacher at Lowman Oaks in the Polk School News District. So Polk County, maybe. I don't know exactly where this is. She identifies as poly and bi and runs 2 public porn pages, one of which is under her name, where she asks for sex. Would you feel comfortable in trusting your 5-year-old with this person? And look at this.
Charlotte Clymer thinks this is normal, probably.
Yeah. She'll fight for their right to go into the bathroom. Here's my favorite part of this, though. This kindergarten teacher, Lindsay, operated 2 porn accounts, and then when Liz of TikTok reported this, the porn accounts evaporated, right? It's like, all right, I better delete the account. I better protect it. I could be at risk of losing my job here. And then the elementary school also deleted their account. It was just total lockdown. Like, we don't fucking need this Twitter anymore.
Get off the Twitter.
Get off Twitter. We got to
looking at the notifications and keep getting lit up. Let's just not even have the option.
Fuck the Twitter. Pull the plug.
There's another teacher, same thing.
Yeah, this is an actual elementary school teacher in White Coast schools. She posted raging rants about hating America, Satan worship, being a drag queen, and calls herself a certified slut. She also has dark images about killing people. Good. I don't know why Libs of TikTok is saying she if this is a drag person.
Yeah.
But
Charlotte, Charlotte,
average satanic elementary school teacher, kinky.
Exactly. Looking for vulnerable souls.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Yeah. And Charlotte Clymer thinks it's normal. She wants kids to see this at a young age so more people turn out to be like her. So instead of stopping the cycle of trauma or whatever happened to Charlotte Clymer or like making people become normal, and like she wants to stop that, expose kids to this weird sex stuff So a higher percentage become weird sex people like Charlotte instead of saying, hey, something bad happened to me or my wires got crossed. I don't wish this upon anybody.
Yeah.
But instead of doing that and taking some accountability, instead it's like, well, we can normalize this and make the next generation into it.
There's two paths. It's like acknowledging I have a delusion or trying to make that delusion a reality.
Yeah.
And you know which one Charlotte chose.
Yeah. So let's go to the men like feminized voices girl.
I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. You ready for this? Most women pitch their voices up for the comfort of men because y'all want us to look and sound like children. We literally move our voices up, I don't know, a half octave to protect your egos. How embarrassing for you. I, on the other hand, enjoy making men incredibly uncomfortable, so I'm going to take my 5-octave range and I'm going to live down here because it spooks you a little bit. Now bark for me like a good boy. That's what I thought.
You're 140. Whoa.
Do you want me to stuff you in a locker?
Yeah.
I mean, you're a girl. You know that.
Yeah.
So you got a little deep voice, you're a girl.
So men liking feminine women is because of the patriarchy.
Oh, yeah.
Not because of science and like how our primal brain works in a way we can't even understand fully.
Yeah.
It's because we flipped a coin.
I love oppression. I like oppressing women so
who
much.
should be the protectors? Men. Okay. And then men are big and strong. Should women be big and strong or should they be dainty and little? Dainty and little. It's like, is that how you think it got played out?
Yeah, it was decided 50 years ago by a marketing department in New York.
It could have been anything, but the men, So that's what's going on here. And this lady, instead of just like being a more masculine woman and finding a guy that fits, she has to like shit on everyone who's normal because that's not what she is. So she's not doing a live and let live in any way.
Yeah. And then also this whole thing where women do something every single day for their entire life for men's egos. And it's like, what? You changed your whole voice? Like, I'm sure someone will like you for who you are.
Yeah.
You know, we did that for your egos. It's like, okay, every day, forever? That sounds difficult. That sounds hard.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. 100 ways white people can make life less frustrating for people of color.
Yeah, new article from Vice doing the good work that they always do. Where do you want to go to first?
Well, I just want to say, like, that's the title. Here's the author. There's her.
Yep.
And there's a little bit of a description of her somewhere. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right there.
Kessiana Boom. That sounds made up. Kessiana Boom is a black lesbian feminist writer and sociologist. Her work mainly centers on issue of sex, sexuality, race, and gender.
Yeah. And then the article is 100 ways white people can make life less frustrating for people of color. So I'm assuming that's because white people are like draining society and they do all the crimes, they use all the welfare, they ruin all the neighborhoods. Their kids are born out of wedlock and aren't proficient in math and science and reading.
Yeah.
They pay little to no taxes. They're responsible for failing schools. That must be what she's looking like. That's what the white people are doing, I'm assuming.
I would say so, because we must be frustrating the broader society in
like
some
holding
way.
people back from like excelling and taking life to the next level.
Yeah. Is that what we do?
That's what it says. Mm-hmm. And the article lists 100 things, which makes you kind of wonder. Like,
it was a whole exercise for her. 100. She's like, okay, I need 20 more. How am I going to squeeze out 20 more? And it's like, ooh, I could split this into 2.
Yeah, so exactly. And then this whole article, 100 things to do to make life less frustrating for people of color. It's like white people need to jump through a lot of hoops for black people just to be happy and normal.
Yeah.
I don't need anyone to do anything for me for the most part.
Exactly. I just don't want to be a victim of a crime right now, like today. That's all I need. I don't really need much.
I just want my car.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is interesting. So obviously people are convinced that like racism is the most important thing and so bad and everywhere. I have a very close family friend who's like a leftist brain rotted retard at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And she gave her mom a book on how not to be racist and said, do the work, as if her 65-year-old boomer mom,
housewife probably,
who probably sees a black person like once a week. As if that's like, once you get that figured out, then society could move on.
Well, and that's
Ignore the whole store getting looted and people just walking out the front door with all the stuff. You need to work on, you have to do the work to not be racist.
Yeah, and then that leads me to believe that it's just a power struggle, like old school Chinese power struggle session, because if you really wanted someone to do the work, it'd be like, okay, you're a Fortune 200 CEO. I really need to talk to you.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just mom who goes to the tennis club and goes to the gym with her gals.
Yeah. And the list has all these stupid tropes like don't touch our hair. Have you ever seen someone in the last 10 years go up to a black person and go, let me touch your hair?
No,
like, it doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
And I was thinking we could write an article the other way and it's like, please stop carjacking everyone in DC.
Yeah, it's up 150%.
We just want our cars. Please stop doing that.
That happened in a year. Yeah. No yelling in the movie theater, please. We
Yeah.
are watching the movie.
Yeah. So there was one too. Being black is like the movie Get Out, they said.
Yeah, it said, listen when black people say, I'm not comfortable in this situation. You've seen Get Out, haven't you? If you haven't seen Get Out, watch Get Out. Understand that the everyday horror is real. That fake movie where they zap people into a black body. What are you talking about? This is like the same thing as like referencing Tony Stark, like the Marvel movie. Oh, be like Tony.
You have to, it's like Get Out, and it's like, oh, that's why society is so fucked up. Is that what's going on in Memphis?
Yeah.
All the white folks are doing Get Out on black people?
Yeah.
Here's the murder graph, just in case anyone's
What
needs
is
a
it? It must be
refreshing.
lopsided if there's 100 ways.
That blue line must be the white people. Oh, no. It's per capita. Oh, no.
Yeah, one way black people can stop frustrating white people.
Stop shooting
that
guns.
chart, the murder, just one. We're not even asking 100. We want one.
Yeah, get an eye target. Stop shooting your gun.
Please.
And another one was we're not autonomous. Number 9, regard us as autonomous, unique individuals, not as representatives of our race. And then number 10 says, don't make embarrassing jokes to try and be down with people of color. We'll laugh at you, not with you. So you're
individuals, but we.
But we'll all laugh at your joke that's not funny. And it's like, wouldn't some individuals think the joke was funny?
Yeah, are you autonomous or not? Are you a monolith or not?
Yeah. And then the next one
They
said,
love having it both ways.
Yeah.
That's the nice.
and it doesn't make sense.
both ways. They're a group when it benefits them, but they're autonomous when you don't want to think that they're going to mug you or something. So
Yeah.
they want it the best of both ways.
And it's autonomous when you want to point out something, and then it's like, oh, we're not all that.
Oh.
But then it is a group when they want it to be, exactly.
Yeah.
It says, don't ask a black woman if that's her real hair. Black people can do whatever they want with their hair. And then another one further down is, don't do dreadlocks if you're white. So it's like, black people can do whatever they want with their hair. They can wear a wig. They can straighten it. Don't ask if it's their real hair. But if you think about doing dreadlocks, that's big trouble.
Yeah.
So it's pretty unfair, obviously.
And then this was in tandem with another Forbes article, 3 ways to decenter whiteness in your workplace.
Yeah.
And then the University of St. Thomas is offering a white accountability workshop. And then weren't everyone just complaining, or weren't Jewish people just asking, will you hide me and will you do this?
Yeah.
I assume they're going to come to our defense and aid. Right?
Yeah. They wrote the article.
No, not this one. This one's a little half black, half white, sexually lesbian type with a fake name.
Yeah.
But,
So we need accountability. And then also here's another media headline, a comparison to show like, oh, if white people are always in the way of black people, they must be unfairly treated by the media. Let's see how it actually looks.
Vegas teen beaten to death by mob of 15 bullies outside high school after standing up for a smaller friend. And you guys know it was a white victim with a very multi-ethnic group kicking him.
15 black kids beat up a white
Mostly
kid.
dark. A couple Latinos made it in.
A couple Latinos, and they killed him.
And then here's the New York Post. Black man's truck repossessed moments after he was gunned down by Alabama cops.
And then if you look at the two, it's black man killed after pointing a gun at a tow truck driver and police.
That wasn't the headline.
Yeah.
Hey, that wasn't the headline. You're supposed to see the headline and get mad.
So that's what really happened. The guy pointed a gun at the tow truck driver and police, and they killed him.
Yeah.
And then it's, gunned down by Alabama cops. Alabama, you know how Alabama is.
Yeah.
So it's like this thing of being blinded by empathy. Also, people of color.
Yeah.
That term.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone says people of color or anyone who's not white. But if you look, black people, Indian people, and Asian people, it's all black, brown, tan, brown. And then people of color, that's people of color. But then white people, who are all just white, we get blue, red, pink, yellow, green, white, brown, orange. That's the color.
Yeah.
Those are colors. Those are like more earth tones.
I see your point.
Yeah. So who's the real people of color? Last point of this section before we move on. John Doyle tweet.
Yeah. You want me to just read it?
Yeah, give it a read. This tweet really sums it up. We talk about this on the show all the time. We aren't going to win by like debating our way out and showing these people, oh, you're not right about this. This is actually what's going on. They're not going to hear it. They're all brainwashed.
They're not going to see it.
Their brains rotted. They can't go back.
Like, think of the girl from the beginning clip where she got it backwards, completely opposite. Oh, why is the black Santa in a wheelchair? White people probably beat him. They're getting it backwards and opposite. So we're
never going to come around.
Yeah, it's not in good faith here.
Yeah.
So the John Doyle tweet says, can only survive if the average American develops, rediscovers, a reflexive who cares response to invocations of American slavery, Indian genocide, racism, misogyny, intolerance, etc. Conceding to the enemy framework causes your citizens to concede to and accept their erasure. So yeah, he says the who cares. I call it so what.
Yeah.
That was my kind of take on it. Thanksgiving was founded on this, and so many natives died, and who cares? I'm eating Thanksgiving with my family now.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
We won. Nice.
Yeah. I was born so many years after any of this happened.
Yeah.
So I just kind of woke up and there was a McDonald's on every corner. And, I woke up, I gained consciousness and I was at Chuck E. Cheese ripping quarters into the game. Like, what do you want? What do you want? Me to go back to 1872 and do something?
Start apologizing.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Don't get too down. Don't get too depressed. We are moving on to Urban Decay. And it's going to get worse.
Yeah, don't.
All right, first clip is a Boston Trash Thanksgiving Eve fight at a bar. This was the night before Thanksgiving. It's playing back here. And these Boston Trash, he's all bloodied up.
Headlock.
Cops
are there.
Cops are there. Real Boston Trash. Love to see it. That's Americana. Wednesday night before Thanksgiving at some shit bar in Boston. That's what you get.
Hometown bar.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
We show white people too.
Of course. All right, next. This next section is, you know how everyone says black people are afraid of cops because they're always being hunted down and cops are racist and they want to hunt black people?
Yeah. And everybody has to have the talk.
The talk. That's what this article is.
Mm-hmm. Distrust of police. Black parents, children have the talk.
Yeah, the talk. So here's some clips that might make you think that maybe people aren't having the talk. Let's go to the first one. The guy's talking shit to the cop.
Repeat that one more time. 17722. Good little bitch. That's right. Do what I say, punk. So again, why ain't you gonna fucking give him a citation? Yeah, look at that. We got a good little bitch. That you moving your car, bitch. Huh? If you have a problem, you can talk to him. Nigga, I ain't talking your bitch ass. You go talk to him, nigga. You go talk to him. You go talk to him. You talk to him, nigga. You talk to him, bitch.
All right.
You get the point.
Maybe he didn't get the talk.
Yeah, his parents were sick. His dad was out of town.
Yeah, his dad was out of town. That cop's going to kill you.
Yeah.
So then later in the clip, the cop just goes, boom.
Yeah, people you're deathly afraid of. I always raise my voice, challenge them, call them bitches, swear at them.
They have a gun on their hip.
I always
like to get right in their face.
I always challenge them. That's the smart thing.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go to the next one, the twerking on the cop car.
Yeah.
Oh, man. These people are horrified of the police.
Deathly afraid of the cops.
Yeah.
Shoot her!
And it's like for a group that claims the cops are hunting them down, you're making it pretty easy for them to find you. You're breaking the law on top of their car.
You're seeking them out, it seems like. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next clip, the flash robbery. These people just walked out of a store with pretty much just everything in their arms.
I have shit over here.
Brought the trash bags. They brought in trash bags.
And on the way out, just a quick 40 sweatshirts on the way out. But these people are deathly afraid of police.
Yeah.
There was
They must be listening to the scanners and being like, okay, where are they? Like it's a drive
just
scene.
stay home. It's not worth going out.
Yeah.
And then people always comment when they see this, like, oh, these corporations don't care about you. There was a really good Twitter back and forth. Mimetic Sisyphus was in it. Can you read the whole thing?
Yeah, why doesn't anyone intervene was the initial question. And then somebody said, these corporations wouldn't piss on you to put out a fire. I don't care. And Mimetic Sisyphus came in with you're not standing up for corporations, you're standing up for a rules-based society.
That's the big difference. Yeah. And there's the Adam Smith quote.
Mercy to the guilty is cruelty to the innocent.
Which is what we got going on. Yeah. No one's getting arrested, no one gets in trouble, and then who suffers? Oh, not the bad guys. You think that's good? Now who actually suffers? Everybody else.
And you know how we say that all the time on the show, we're talking about how we're too far away from food?
Yeah.
And now we've gone crazy and people are arguing about the men's restroom and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The Founding Fathers era, and those that period of time when people were coming up with banger quotes like Adam Smith right there, that was kind of like when we were super close to our animal nature, but also ascending and reaching for the stars. And the Declaration of Independence, all that, the Constitution.
And that's what got us to separation.
That was like a level up in humanity. That was the pure time because people had both high society expectations and then also they remembered what we escaped from, where we were coming from, who ruled us. So that was kind of the peak.
That's a great point. There was a group that, I don't think it's a podcast, these black guys, very smart group. They made some points about how black thugs are the new white supremacy.
Black thugs are the new white supremacy. These people are oppressing everybody black in the community. They even convince you that no snitching. Dude, how is he snitching? He's a civilian. You in his hallway selling crack, and if he's telling you that he's a snitch, and that thing had literally been literally brainwashing all of us to think this. And I'm like, yo, this is stupid. He didn't sign up. He didn't sign up to sell drugs with you. He's being a civilian. He paid rent. Why should his child or her child go to school and get harassed every morning?
Mm-hmm.
Right? At this point, white supremacy is on vacation and left the keys to niggas.
Yeah.
I like these guys.
Yeah, I like these guys. And it makes a lot of sense. White supremacy, when I go to the ATM at night, I'm not looking for white supremacists over my shoulder.
Or the roving bands of Nazis. Yeah.
And
they don't exist.
Yeah, these guys get it. But the problem is, for every one of these guys, there's 500 ends.
Yeah, there's 500 no snitching ever at any time. And then, that's also, the snitching part is a huge problem in black communities. Probably the best thing you can do for your community to keep your community safe is if you witness something, getting on the stand and going, there he is, officer.
He did it.
Yeah, the guy needs 20 years.
Yep.
The guy needs to cool off.
Who are we protecting? It's the same problem that everyone else is dealing with. It's who's being prioritized? Who are we protecting?
Yeah.
All right, last
the criminals.
Exactly. Last clip of Urban Decay, the subway pisser.
Yeah, let's see.
Well, this is a subway pisser.
This is New York, right?
Yeah.
MTA.
I know good and well. I'm really living here is I don't know what to say sometimes. I really don't.
Oh! Yeah, it starts moving.
When the piss moves.
But, who cares?
Yeah.
Don't stand where the piss is. Subway has 20 cars. It's a city. People are going to be sleeping on fentanyl and pissing. That's what life in the big city is.
There's going to be some crack smoke. You can't snitch.
You need to decentralize your whiteness and reframe society.
100 ways? 100 ways to decenter?
So others need to be in the focus, like this individual. It's his time.
Yep.
All right. We are moving on. Don't get too down. Don't get too depressed. We're moving on to Uplifting Gold.
We're moving the Chicago migrant encampment and a couple other videos. We're going to move them to Bonus Land.
We have a great packed Bonus Land, which brings me to my next point. Make sure you guys join Bonus Land. FleccasTalks.com is the website where we do bonus content. After every episode, you get a 30-minute bonus episode exclusively for FleccasTalks.com members. We released an hour-long Q&A over Thanksgiving when we didn't do our main episode and a Bonus Land before that. We do 4 hours of Bonus Land content exclusively a month. So if you love the show and you're watching this far and you're thinking about joining, it's the holidays. Now's the time. You're spending money on parties and gifts and everybody, why not buy something you'll actually enjoy, you'll actually get some use out of? We'll give you 4 hours plus of entertainment a month. Link is in the description. If you send me a screenshot showing me you signed up, I will follow you on the social media of your choice.
Wow.
Uplifting Gold. All right. We're going to move fast, but not too fast.
All right.
This says beer building toss.
Yep. What do you think it is?
I think it's going to throw.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah! It's like
I want to pause it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, this is the worst idea of all time.
And look at this guy right here. Asian guy sitting down. He's not even looking at where the toss is coming from. He could have been dead. Simon Birch's mom.
Oh, man. Throwing an unopened beer can across a city street from building to building. And that guy's not even looking. He could have hit him in the back of the head.
Could have hit him in the head. He could have been paralyzed.
And even what if you missed and it went in the street and hit somebody or hit somebody on the other side? This is like the worst thing you can do. This is the worst thing you can do.
It worked out.
Uplifting
Gold.
All right, there's a pizza hack at Little Caesars.
All right, let's check it out. I haven't seen this one yet.
Now the life hack we saw on TikTok.
Can we have the waist? The what? The waist.
So you go to Little Caesars and you ask for the waist.
Pizzas are $5, mind you. You want the waist.
I'm here for the scratch.
No way it's actually working.
$3 boxes.
That's what illegals should eat.
Yeah.
You know,
I think they already do. But they pay the $5 for the hot
I'm
and ready.
not for it. But if you're illegal and you want free food, that probably will work. But that's a good hack for anybody.
Of course.
So if you guys want to go try that and it works and shout out the podcast, we'll give you a t-shirt.
I'm actually pissed because I wanted to see what the waist looked like and they didn't open it.
It's probably 3 boxes of pizza.
Full pizza?
Yeah.
That's the waist?
It's probably just timed out where it's
Okay.
like 5 minutes over and before they literally throw it away.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
If you don't have the $5,
you can get free pizza.
you can get the waist.
Man,
They make it as unappealing as possible. We're here for the waist. You whisper it under your breath.
Waist. I'm going to have waist for lunch.
You look over your shoulder. Hey, how's it going? Can I get the waist?
Yeah. I have a whole soccer team of kids. I'm going to feed them waist. All right, let's go to the man on the street. FU. This is funny and fast.
Excuse me, sir? Excuse me.
Don't bother me, you
I'm sorry.
That's a real New York answer.
I like that.
Hit in the head with the beer. Some kids are throwing beers up there. Hit in the head from a skyscraper beer.
Yeah, we're painting a picture of a whole life in New York where you take the subway, somebody pisses, all the piss comes to the front, you get off, somebody goes, "Excuse me, sir, can I ask you a question for my vlog?"
Fuck you.
Fuck you. And then you get into Little Caesars, you go, "Kid, I'm here for the waist."
And you walk home and get hit in the head with the beer. Oh, man. All right.
That's New York. That's life in the big city.
That's life in the big city, baby.
And then you walk past someone smoking crack, but you can't snitch.
Yeah, and they go, well, secondhand crack smoke's not actually bad for you. That's what they do. All right, the pig buttons. You guys know we don't believe when dogs are pressing the buttons and communicating. I think this pig might be.
Okay.
Ice cube! Ice cube! You can't have ice cubes. You just lost teeth. No ice cubes. Yes. No. Ice cube! Ice cube! No ice cubes. Ice cube! Ice cube! Is there something else you want? Ice cube! Ice cube! I'm sorry, buddy. You can't eat them with your teeth. Alright. Now he's gonna get
So this is the part where I know it's real.
Merlin.
Closes the door.
I'm sorry, Merlin. Ice cubes aren't good for you. Can we talk?
That looks pretty real. So the buttons work.
All right.
The buttons work for some animals.
Animals?
Yeah.
Aminals?
Yeah.
All right.
That's all my point is.
I believe in Merlin, too.
You believe?
Yeah, I believe.
All right. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it.
We have grandma prank. You want grandma prank?
Yeah, we got the grandma prank. Yep. Let's get that going.
All right.
On the parkway. On the park. No. Oh my god. No.
It says, "Grandma, look what's on the news," and they're playing Grand Theft Auto footage.
Oh Oh my god.
Double homicide.
Oh my god.
They're playing video game clips and telling grandma it's real. All right, last piece of uplifting gold. 32,000 extra births since Roe v. Wade has been overturned.
Wow.
That's uplifting. That's a real uplifting thing.
Yeah.
And then I found this thing, we're going to end the show on this, about how the cells of the baby and the mom were the host body, you know, like whatever the parasite and the host. So the baby in the uterus, in the womb.
You want me to just read this?
And the mom, the cells interact in a certain way. We'll give it a read, please.
All right. During pregnancy, some baby cells migrate into the mother's bloodstream and then return to the child. It's called the mother-fetal microchimerism. You set me into a blender here. For 41 weeks, the cells mix and circulate back and forth, and after that, baby is born. Many of these cells remain in the mother's body, leaving a permanent imprint in the tissues, bones, brain, and skin of the baby to mother. And they often remain there for decades. Every other child a mother has will leave a similar imprint on her body. Even if a pregnancy doesn't end or if you have an abortion, these cells still migrate into the bloodstream. Research has shown that if a mother's heart is injured, fetal cells will rush to the injury site and transform into different types of cells that specialize in repairing the heart. The child helps the mother repair while the mother builds the child. This is often the reason why some diseases fade away during pregnancy. It's amazing how the mother's body protects the baby at all costs, and the baby protects and rebuilds the mother in return so they can safely develop and survive. Let's think about pregnancy cravings for a moment. What did the mother need that the child made her wish? The studies also showed the presence of fetal cells in her mother's brain 18 years after birth. How wonderful is this? You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Abortion is and always was murder.
Very nice. Isn't that interesting info?
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Did you see that before I broke the record for fastest paper airplane?
That was a bullshit plane, though. Let's pick that up.
Let's see.
I can't reach it, but it's a piece of shit on the ground right here. Just trust me, it's ugly. So I'm not calling it. I get it. You did it for the bit, but I'm not calling you Guinness World Record holder of shitty plane record. All right?
Go. One more.
Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Still beat it by a second, and that was a real plane. Compared to what he did, I did the same motions he did.
It's all pointless, guys. That's the point.
Another Fleccas Talks in the books. Thank you guys for watching. Please join Bonus Land, FleccasTalks.com. If you're looking for merch for the holidays, maybe you want to get some people some cool shirts, FleccasMerch.com is a good place to do that. No sales. No discounts.
No, Cyber Tuesday.
Just please buy it.
Yeah, all right, there you go.
I don't know how to do it on the website.
You're like Best Buy. You put the new sticker on that says it's $100 off, but you look underneath and it's the same price it's always been.
Yeah, so FleccasMerch.com for that. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in Bonus Land, and then we'll see you Friday.
Let Christmas to carry my heart.